It feels so uncomfortable. This was meant to be comfy. I bought this beanbag thinking this is going to be really comfortable. Um, it's not. It's not. Oh, I got him. I got him. Finally. This feels like two things right now. I'm either in an interrogation with the police, or I'm about to be beheaded. But then again, like, if they're like, sit on a beanbag, you're going to get beheaded. I'm like, what is this? I don't know. I don't. This is a really bad. I need to decorate my room. My room is so boring. I have a poster, a calendar. You kind of see. I'm trying to look. You can't see the bottom of it. I need to actually put stuff around my room. I understand why girls do that now, because if it was like really decorated around here, it'd be fine. But I generally feel like I'm in some Soviet era in like the 1960s. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant. This is fantastic. Um, yeah. Ooh, goblin mode. Nice. Nice. Now I feel part of it. Nice. Now I feel part of it. I feel safe. My head is protected from government interference. I must talk about conspiracy theories. That's what I'm going to do. I can talk about that. You know, I had a note. I had a notepad on my phone. I had one of those notes. It was one of those inventions that you younger people don't even know anything about. Back in my day, we had still notepads. Terrible joke. Let's talk about something that's pretty popular with the conspiracy theory, based on just solely my opinion. So everything I say in this video is not fact. It's based on my opinion and interpretation of documentaries, articles, books, podcasts, anything that I can absorb the information. I am regurgitating it out to be my opinion. So you cannot sue me, and also you can't say that I'm dumb because I'm saying something is a fact when it's my opinion and potentially might be a fact, or 2% is a fact and I've completely forgot it. But hey, conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. I was going to belt it then, but the spiking on this microphone will go mental. There's a sign. Come on, little Mike, use protection. Right. I've cut out me trying to put that on because I guarantee you that will be photoshopped. There's a lot of hair in this, and it's not what you think. I have no clue. It's just on the floor. But I didn't put it around my knob. And maybe no one actually even assumed that, and I've just outed myself as someone. I mean, if my knob went into that, how girthy. All right, okay. I'm in the wrong career. um, we'll talk about a conspiracy theory that is pretty well known. Potentially, the second part might not be as well known, but it's also out there to consumption. Which I'll send down the links of the podcast I'll be referring to in a second. But it's Tom O'Neill, Joe Rogan, okay, and then also the book Chaos. I'll explain. I don't know what I'm doing here. So what we're talking about is MK Ultra. Probably everyone's heard of that or heard of it, or they'll probably know something of it. It's like the most stereotypical CIA conspiracy theory out there. The same like Bohemian Grove, which we'll talk about in another podcast. With the elites, it's just kind of a conspiracy. Like it's kind of like a stereotypical. Like, oh, okay, well, obviously they were going to do that in the '60s, in post, World War II, Cold War. You're kidding me? They did that? No, really? Huh? Of course. It is cool that they did that though, because it was always a conspiracy theory. It's always, oh, that's gonna be wacky, but it is cool that they did that, and we can look back on it. What was my voice there? It's cool that they did that though. So MK Ultra was a operation that was designed by the CIA to try to control people with LSD. By the way, eyes are up here. Not. Please stop looking down there. It's nothing that is impressive. Just like the Operation MK Ultra by the CIA, very impressive. Actually, it was terrible. It was completely a failure to a certain point. in the sense of using LSD to brainwash people is kind of a failure. But they tried to get people on LSD to brainwash them. Other operations like Operation Moonlight, I believe it was, which they would use prostitutes to get information on people pretty much. It's that time of, I think that could also be the 80s, Operation Moonlight, but it's that time of era where they're trying to experiment with sleeper agents potentially, or a narrative they're trying to push. This is what links the second part into the narrative they're trying to push. I believe Wormwood, I don't know if that's still on, is that Netflix or Amazon Prime? One of them. I believe that's also about MK Ultra. It's a very short first part to talk about because MK Ultra, I don't know too much about it. I'm assuming just through knowledge itself that they use different tactics to control people, and it was a further investigation of different drugs or different ways to control people, manipulate people, or put them in programs. And LSD might have been a part of that. It might have been one variable, but there were probably multiple things. I haven't really researched into it, to be brutally honest with you. It's just from my knowledge of what I've watched. Because I've literally thought I had a list of things to do, and I just thought something else on the spot. That's a great podcast. People are going to tune into this 110%. Some fat bloke that's talking about conspiracy theories that's having a midlife crisis in his 20s. It really does sum up this generation. I was born in the wrong generation. I should be hating my generation. To be fair, I think about that as the previous generation. These people, they don't know any work. Oh, back in my day, we had GCSEs. What else? Back in my day, 720p was the extreme. HD PVRs and OPS. No, we used Dazzle. It wasn't even funny. I'm just trying to think of. And my voice just slowly went from old man to probably like Dazzle. Ooh. And I've somehow got onto this subject instead of my conspiracy theory on. Damn! Oh, I took a break and I can't remember what I said. So MK Ultra, 1960s, most stereotypical thing, using LSD and probably other sorts to try to brainwash people. The reason why this is actually really interesting is because Tom O'Neill a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it could potentially even been before COVID. Then again, time, I thought 2019 was like 2 years ago. It's not. It's much longer. Very much longer. I was going to do an Asian accent then and stop myself. That is insanely impressive. Because if I do any form of comedy, Keir Starmer himself will burst through my door himself and arrest me. So I must keep the overlords happy. Keir Starmer, take my tax. Donald Trump, save me. Donald Trump, save me. Yeah, you might be thinking, am I on MK Ultra's payroll? I wish I was. That'd be nice. But no, I kind of just go round and round about quite a lot of time with my conversations. But the second part, we need to focus on this, and mainly me. I'm talking to myself. My present day self is talking to my future self about my past self to be concentrating. And he's not doing that. But I am now. Dun, dun, dun. Tom O'Neill was like Wagwan to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan turned to Jonathan Ross at Note. And it was a really good podcast. They were talking about creating a TV show. I wanted a movie. I think TV show documentaries are kind of hit and miss. I don't much prefer a movie, but I think it was with Amazon, and they still haven't made it, which is crazy to me because it doesn't matter when that is. Everyone's interested in it at any point about this stuff. So he released a book called Chaos, which it'll be down in the description if you would just even got to this point, which I think like no one will apart from me rewatching this. So he released a book called Chaos, which which linked Charles Manson to MK Ultra. Now, if you don't know Charles Manson, which some people don't, which is crazy to me, because if you're into serial killers or conspiracy theories or cults, then you have to know Charles Manson. Crazy. He's also, I find it hilarious, he was like 5'2". How is that possible? How is a bloke 5'2"? Doesn't make that like, how did he pull anyone? It's crazy. That was crazy to me. But Charles Manson, essentially, he has released music. It's called Helter Skelter. I've listened to it many times. I went through a phase of listening to Charles Manson because I thought he had a good voice. I think that was the time when Chaos came out. I wanted to look more into Charles Manson. I was watching a load of stuff, so I started listening to his music. And then I became Charles Manson. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na. No. Charles Manson, essentially, he wanted to create music and then got shut down. Who does that remind you of? Some Austrian painter got shut down from school and then something happened. But there's times where people will take rejection solely to heart. Which has probably happened, well, more famously, more than those two that I can think of. But I can't think of anything. But yeah, no, rejection can cause a really disastrous outcome. So I think it was the Beatle Boys or the Beastly Boys or the Beatle Boys. I believe it was those Beatle Boys, the Beastly Boys or whatever they were. And one of them was friends with him, and he got a bloke to come down to listen to him, and he was like, nah, you sound the same as literally every other hippie 60s bloke, sorry, bye. And he's like, whoa, man, what do you mean? Oh, man. He's like, what the hell is Charles? Oh, he's down here. Oh, whoa, man. Come on now. I'm going to do something you're going to regret. I'm going to be more famous than ever. He's like, no, sorry, Charles, can't do it. You literally sound like the bloke down the road. Oh, man. Have you not seen all these women? No, I can't do it. I'm turning to Joe Biden. Oh, man. We got some ice cream at home. No, Joe, what do you think about, what do you think about the phones blown up? Whoa, man. Whoa. We got some ice cream at home, man. Then Trump would be like, I would end the war. Nope, that's not Trump. Wrong. I would end the war. No, I can't even do Trump. Wrong. Donald Trump, save me. Donald Trump, save me. But yeah, no, Charles Manson essentially got rejected and was like, well, if, ands, or buts, I'm going to kill you all, pretty much. Famous killings of Sharon Tate, who was Roman Polanski's wife at the time, who supposedly now is a paedophile. Interesting. So yeah, he essentially, he wasn't there for those murders. So it was a murder that happened before, which supposedly he was there at. The second murders he wasn't there at. And the link is with MK Ultra is, from what I remember, he was seen to the psychiatrist who did MK Ultra, the lead psychiatrist or the lead whatever, many times, and there were like prisoners that would see him. There was other, I think, JFK's, is it Jack Dempsey? No, that's a boxer. I think it was JFK's assassin was also there, like being seen to him. And there was like a lot of things with Charles Manson being released from juvie and prison times early, where he should be in the system longer, but he's getting shorter sentences. And he's no longer having any sentence because he's dead. No, it was funny in my head. So that was a conspiracy behind it too. And I think, I don't know if this was mentioned in Tom O'Neill's podcast, but I remember either listening or reading something where potentially this could have been Chaos, or the Charles Manson's book that was written by that cop, the detective on the case. I can't remember if it was. Tom O'Neill and him have beef, by the way. Like, Tom O'Neill, I don't think likes him at all. I think there's like some stuff that he hid or something like that, or he just lied to make his book better, etc., and make Charles Manson more of a superstar. I can't remember. I think this was, I can't remember when any of this was. Well, funnily enough, I can't remember what I said like 5 minutes ago. So I literally had to go through the words I just said then, and I thought of my joke. the shorter sentences joke. So it actually did work because I remember where the hell I was. I wouldn't have otherwise. So he got shorter sentences, and it just seemed a bit weird that he was getting released out, and this guy was seeing him, and then also describing what MK Ultra is, and they were seeing how to brainwash people, and it could have been other ways that rather than LSD, but potentially got him on harder drugs. So then, his brain is completely fried, and all he knows is to commit crime. And then, from what I remember, and I don't know where I saw this from, but it was more of a race war. He wanted to blame. He thought, if I remember correctly, he thought he was going to survive because he was in the middle of the desert, and that black people were going to cause civil war, and that whites needed to fight. It was something like that. So what he tried to do was, with the two killings, was try to blame it on black people to create tension, to create civil war, where he thought he would come out as the leader, from what I remember. Now, that is something of someone who probably, potentially, maybe is under the influence of a controlled substance from a branch of the Secret Service of the United States government in the 1960s. If I had to have a guess, not really a sane person has that mindset of just T-posing and going, right, that will do. We're in the desert. Everything's good. But he's also, his goal he wanted to do was become famous, and he became way more famous while he was in prison. I didn't like this TV show, but it was a really good impression of Charles Manson, the best I've ever seen. I think anyone that ever does Charles Manson stuff needs to have this guy. And it's in Mindhunters, the TV show. Just watch the scene with Charles Manson, because as someone that was looking into Charles Manson a lot and watching a lot of his interviews, he near enough was perfect, honey. That made me fucking hate myself. What the hell was that? So yeah, that's a very brief knowledge of Charles Manson, and I don't know what that noise was. That felt like Charles Manson was coming out my throat then. But that was a very brief history of MK Ultra, Charles Manson being connected, and a terrible corresponding order. Hi, I'm Alex, corresponding from Channel 5. I didn't use that word correctly, but I passed it off, and now I've created it into a skit. Now the weather. It's high noon. MK Ultra. Do I have anything else to say on this matter? No. I will do. Actually, it's interesting. I will do more detail ones, because I feel like you can make like TikToks and they'll be really good. Okay, so I had other topics. UFC. I'm not going to talk about it. Champions are boring at the moment with Bilal Muhammad and Merab. Those divisions are kind of bad. Islam Makhachev does wrestling or sambo. He does, but his striking is very crisp too. Whereas Merb's isn't. No, Bilal Muhammad's match against Leon Edwards was quite good. He absolutely dominated him. Like no one expected that. Yeah, it was a decision, but it was complete domination against a really good champion that people thought would probably reign for quite some time. I don't know if that'll be a rematch there or what, but I'd kind of like to see Blur versus Colby. Even Colby doesn't deserve it, but Blur, Blur. I'd like to see Blur versus Kobe. Blair. There wasn't a goat noise, by the way. I shouldn't even drawn the comparison to it. It was just, yeah, okay, it wasn't. There was no racist intentions there. You can't get me. It was just me making a funny, not about a goat noise at all. And it wasn't a goat noise. And now I'm thinking I'm making myself think that it was a goat noise. It wasn't. But Colby versus Bilal Muhammad would be interesting just because of the press conferences and whatnot. Blair, I think Colby, Blair Witch Project. I think Colby is kind of washed. I'd like to see him against Ian Gary. Merab has to go against Uzman Nurmagomedov, Khabib's cousin, Usman or Uman. I think it's Usman. Either or, it's going to have to be him. Islam Makhachev is going against that guy who got suspended for fighting a fan. I can't remember his name. What's the division? Shevchenko? I have no clue. I don't know who the other. I don't even know who the other champion is in the women's division. Shevchenko and I haven't got a clue. I'd recognise her as soon as I saw her. Oh, Raquel Pennington. Oh, she has a mid record. What the hell? Well, actually, no, her record's quite good recently. I don't know any of these women that she's fought. I know Holly Holm, Amanda Nunes, Misha Tate, Jessica Andre, Holly Holm, Jessica Andre again. These recent ones, I have no clue who the hell they are. Who's Maria Silva? What's it? Yeah, she lost. Dr. Stoss. I don't know any of these people. I know Pennington though, but I wouldn't know. I only know her for her name. I wouldn't be able to say, oh yeah, I see that face. That's Raquel Pennington. Both together, I do know that. We're gone. 145 is Holloway, and then after that, I think Aldo, just for the sake of it. If he beats this next guy, I think Aldo, just he deserves it. After his whole time in the UFC, literally 10 years undefeated, gets beaten by McGregor. Fastest knockout, kind of goes downhill. I think he loses against Marab and Peter Yan, I think. And now he's gone back up in his latter end of career, which is insane. There should be way more attention on Jose Aldo. 155, we already know, with Islam. 170, Bilal Muhammad is going to go against... Oh, I'm going to have to edit a lot because I'm bloody... Flyweight, Brendan Moreno, I like him. Islam... No, Bilal Muhammad should really be Shavkat. I think Sean versus JDM, Colby versus Ian, Gilbert Burns probably versus Stephen Thompson. Yeah. I personally would do that Shavkat versus Belair, Leon versus Usman. Oh, wait. Hold up. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, Hamzat's not in that division anymore. I was going to say, I don't really want to see Usman versus Edwards. I think they might... It should really be Shaka versus Belair, in a sense what the UFC would want. But I think it'll be Edwards versus Blair, Usman versus Shakav, unless they made the match. You got DDP in the middleweight. He's going to get Sean Strickland. Is he sitting out for that? Whittaker versus Hamzat. Yeah, we already know the middleweight. Like, heavyweight is Roundtree, isn't it? A weird matchup. That's probably because he's beaten Jerry, Jamal Hill, Yan. Bracket's probably... All these other fighters are probably fighting or couldn't make the date. Jones is against... Hold on, I have to scroll all the way down. Stipe, brilliant. And for some reason not defending against an interim title. What's the point of an interim title? Shevchenko is now pound for pound. I definitely... Well, she probably... Alexa Grasso was probably pound for pound number one. Zhang Wei, I think, is pound for pound. Where's men's? Surely it's up here then. Men's pound for pound is Islam Makhachev. Bilal Muhammad's now gone to 5th, and DDP for some reason gone to 6th. Why is that the case? I think the reason the case is because Bilal Muhammad won recently, or recent. But DDP I would put above Bilal Muhammad, beating Sean Strickland, Whittaker, Costa, and Izzy is more impressive than Bilal Muhammad's record. Ilia Topuria, I'd put Tom Aspinall above him, personally. John Jones, I wouldn't even put him in the top 10. He's not fought. I think he's fought once in 4 years. He hasn't fought for like 2 years. Why is he third? is ridiculous. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be even in there. Maybe top 10 because we got. Wow, Sean O'Malley went down to 7 places. Merab went to 7th. What the hell? Crazy. I would put Alex Pereira above Islam Makhachev, especially now. I think Alex Pereira is now, if when he fights Roundtree, would be 2 fights ahead of Islam Makhachev, and my recognition. I would put Pereira above him, but then Islam, when he next fights, if he wins, then yeah, no, yeah. Like, you change it every time they win. But that's so lame. It's just like, I would put Alex Pereira up here because now he's and we can go on for this. No, wait, it doesn't make sense. It's lame. It's lame. Like, I would put Alex Pereira over Islam. John Jones shouldn't be there. I think Ilia Topuria is probably right. DDP over Belair. I'd actually put DDP actually over DDP over Ilia Topuria. I would actually put DDP third. I would have Alex Pereira first, Islam Makhachev second, DDP third, because of who he's beaten. Everyone else is not the same plate as him. I'm sorry. I'll put 4th Tom Aspinall, 5 Topuria, 6th Belair because he is champion. I'm thinking of Merab and Sean O'Malley. I'd actually put Merab above Blair Muhammad just because of the competition Merab's had. And I forgot what rank I'm on. But the rest will do. Oh, it's going to be a lot better, isn't it? I keep taking breaks. God, I'm just doing too much work. Oh, God, I need a break. Yes, Jordan Peterson, yes. But how? What do you mean? No, you listen here, you fuckhead. You fucking nitwit. He's definitely said that in a serious manner. No, you look in here, you nitwit. I love Jordan Peterson, by the way. I probably sounded nothing like Jordan Peterson. And it was actually interesting. I was talking and pause, major pause. Oh, I might have that in. No, I probably will. But no, that was disgusting. Bloody hell. Major pause. It comes from the back of my throat. Unpause. Like, I feel like I'm a puppet. What if Jordan Peterson was a puppet? No, he's an intellect. He's a very smart man. I like him. Double thumbs up. Double thumbs up, brother. I wish aliens were real. I say that and I don't. And it's just like, imagine if I made a joke about the aliens are controlling us, and I made a joke about the aliens, and then like they don't even have to open the door; they just like merge here, like. But the merging has to be really terrible, like 1980s merging in. So it's just terrible, and it's. Oh Lord. Meow, 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 meow. Oh no, what's happening? Yeah, funny. That's funny. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. They're like, we must do experiments on you, Mr. Alex. No, please. You spoke out against us. I am a Dalek. I don't think that would happen. But if aliens did exist, it would be terrible. It'd be terrible. Like, we'll just go to war. They'd be like, China would be like, nah, America. Russia would be like, hey, let us. There's no joke here. We would just go to war. It would be. We wouldn't be like, oh, I'm trying not to swear. Because of YouTube. I don't want to bleep it out. More editing. We're not just going to go, oh, yeah, let's put a difference to the side. They'll be like, nah, is this whole mic been blocking my face this whole time? So you literally, I'm like, Bane. I am the darkness. I was born in it, molded into it. This is the only action I can do in acting. I sound like
Alfie Solomon's from Peaky Blinders all the time now. I used to be a really good actor, but actually I'm a really nice person everyone loves. But I play really bad roles now. Venom is terrible.
I like Tom Hardy. He's actually one of my favorite actors, and I would say actually he could be James Bond. Like my permission, by the way. You have my permission, but I think Henry Cavill, man, he should focus on Warhammer. We should have a progressive James Bond. No, I don't care about James Bond. Like an owl doing beatboxing. I don't know why I was looking on the floor like it was calling for me. More like the owl, I will come to Bohemian Grove with you. No, aliens would suck. It would suck. If we found aliens, we what would we do? We wouldn't come to peace with each other. We definitely would nuke each other to try and get those aliens on our side. And like, those aliens aren't going to be like, hello, friend, and then shake a hand. We are friends now. We literally have discovered other people, like the Native Americans, is what that was doing. How, friend? And they got exterminated. Why would aliens not go, ew, ew, what are you doing here? Bye. Why wouldn't they do that? We've done it to ourselves. But also, if it's an alien, I don't think they're like, me map, me map, in their little UFOs. That's another conspiracy theory I can talk about, which is kind of controversial because I don't agree with like Bob Lazar and stuff like that. Me map, me map, me map. Shout out to Dan Soda, man. Yeah, shout out Dan Soda, man. That guy's the king of accents. Yeah, I think there'll be entities that would absolutely just kill us all. To be brutally honest, I don't think they'll come in peace. And if they did come in peace, they're so much more powerful than us. It's unreal. And there's gonna be some CIA like MK Ultimate like have this drink alien, and he's like spiked it with loads of LSD, and he goes, "Why are you trying to spike us with LSD?" Imagine a cold sweat would go down the back of his neck. No, I'm not. We've only had half. You drink rest. Drinks it, absolutely gone. You have declared war on us. We will exterminate you in 5 seconds. That's it. All of humans gone. The whole human race disappeared because some CIA mate was like, "Gotta make a name for myself, write that book, be on that Vice interview." And that's how Fallout was created. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to probably maybe the first episode of the podcast, as the second one was filmed 7 months ago, but he probably wants to watch that again. This was either the first or second episode, but what it is, conspiracy theory, it may be labeled as the first, but it is actually the second. Don't let this other person tell you otherwise, because he wants to watch it first before I upload it. Don't let him tell you otherwise, the fraud, the fake. And I'll be discussing with him next podcast, grilling him about this accusation that I've just created, and I have no clue what the accusation was. Two is better than one. This is the first episode being released, but it's actually the second filmed. 7 months ago was the first one. So I'll see you in the third episode in 7 months. Or will it be actually next week or this week? And you never know. It may be the fact we actually started filming this back in 2007. And I'm actually like 40 odd now. And then when it blows up is when we release our recent podcast as us being in 40s. And everyone's like, oh my God, that was an insane trend. You spent 2007 to do this? You spent like 17 years? But it's not the case. Because in 2007, I will not reveal my age. Ever. And when I do turn 30, I'll just keep rocking with it. Because I look young. Even though 2 people have said to me, I thought you were in your 30s, which is quite traumatizing. I've always had a baby face. Now apparently my baby face has skipped over the normal phase, and now I'm getting older and I look older. So it actually has never, when it needed to matter where I looked older, it never happened. And where I wanted to look younger, it never happened. I want to be forever young. Right. I'm going. I'll see you whenever.